That's me when my fridge is out of beer, and I can't have any more of my beloved road sodies. Today we're going to be going over at least for the first 4 games, Five Nights at Freddy's characters' beer of choice. Now, for the most part, I will not be explaining myself. The choices should be largely self-explanatory. If you disagree with my opinions, you're wrong. But if you feel very strongly, I suppose feel free to make your case down below. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Severed slime! These are haunted animatronics possessed by the souls of murdered children who'd been stuffed inside of them. How are they supposed to drink, or for that matter, even obtain beer? And to that I say, shut up! Who am I to deny these haunted robots the joys of liquid yeast and fermented wheat? So, without wasting any more of your precious time, let's get right into it. Freddy Fazbear's beer of choice would be Budweiser, bottled, not canned. Bonnie the Bunny is most typically going to reach for a can of Busch. Chica the Chicken, more often than not, is going to go for Blue Moon. Foxy the Pirate Fox can, of course, be most often found with a Golden Freddy's favorite beer is going to be Miller High Life. Endo 1 is typically going to reach for Bud Light. Toy Freddy's preferred beer is going to be Sam Adams. Toy Bonnie is going to be rather partial to Busch Light. Toy Chica's beer of preference is going to be Corona Extra. Mangle is more often than not going to reach for a Pabst Blue Ribbon. Wait, what's that? That's the liquor alarm! What's going to happen when we hear the liquor alarm is we're going to have this wheel with every animatronic's name on it, and we're going to spin that wheel to determine what animatronic we will be talking about. And then we will spin a second wheel to determine what kind of hard liquor we have to figure out is the favorite for that animatronic. So, let's spin the first wheel. Shadow Bonnie, insane pull. So, we are going to have to see what is Shadow Bonnie's favorite kind of what. Let's see what kind of hard liquor we will be looking at for Shadow Bonnie. Looks like we'll be determining Shadow Bonnie's favorite kind of whiskey. I'm thinking that Shadow Bonnie's favorite whiskey is most likely going to be Yukon Jack Honey. Withered Freddy's favorite beer is going to be Fat Tire Ale. Withered Bonnie is going to be a huge fan of Busch Light Red Apple. Withered Chica is typically going to reach for a Kona Big Wave. Withered Foxy is more often than not found with a The Puppet's favorite beer is going to be Modelo. Any of them. Balloon Boy can't be trusted with alcohol, of course, so he's given Budweiser Zero. Shadow Freddy is usually going to go for a Dos Equis Amber. RWQFSFASXC, or, Shadow Bonnie, is going to go for a Dogfish Head Sea Quench Ale with lime. JJ also cannot be trusted with alcohol, so she is being given Coors Edge. Endo 2 is also typically going to reach for a Blue Moon. Wait, is that the liquor alarm again? Oh, well, let's see who we're talking about this time. Phantom Foxy, another insane pull. What kind of hard liquor are we going to have to look at for Phantom Foxy? Okay, now let's see what kind of hard liquor we have to determine the favorite of for Phantom Foxy. Okay, we're going to have to determine Phantom Foxy's favorite kind of vodka. It was close, looking like it was going to be whiskey there for a second. But turns out it's got to be Phantom Foxy's favorite vodka. I'm thinking Phantom Foxy's favorite vodka is probably going to be Wheatley. Springtrap's favorite beer is going to be a Guinness. It's gross, he's British, and he's pompous. Of course it's going to be Guinness. Phantom Freddy's beer of choice is going to be Lone Star. Phantom Chica's preferred beer is also going to be a Sam Adams. Now, Phantom Foxy's favorite beer is of course going to be Phantom Balloon Boy, still of course not being able to be trusted with alcohol, is going to be given Budweiser Zero once again. Nightmare Freddy's favorite beer is going to be Coors Banquet. The Freddles are his children, whom he parents very well and attentively, so they of course do not drink. Nightmare Bonnie's beer of choice is going to be a Busch Light Peach. Nightmare Chica can typically be seen drinking a Schlitz. Nightmare Foxy, surprisingly, would prefer a Michelob Ultra. Plushtrap, while being a child, still is going to heavily drink Guinness. Nightmare Fredbear is going to be a big fan of Miller Lite. Nightmare's favorite beer is going to be Busch Light Lime. Jacko Bonnie is typically going to go for a Busch Light Peach. Jacko Chica can most often be seen drinking a Coors Light. Nightmare Mingle is going to more often than not reach for a Voodoo Ranger IPA, most typically the Juice Force flavor. Nightmarione can also typically be seen drinking Sam Adams. And last and most certainly least, Nightmare Balloon Boy is also going to drink Bud Light. That's going to cap off all of the Five Nights at Freddy's characters' favorite beers. Personally, if I had to choose, I'd likely align myself with the likes of Withered Bonnie, as there is nothing quite like the smooth, sweet, ever so slightly bitter flow of the renowned Busch Light Red Apple. Now, if you'd like to see me go over the rest of the characters from Sister Location onwards, do let me know. And if I manage to miss any characters, secret or otherwise, from the first 4 games, make sure to let me know that as well. I do hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye.